Record root software.
Welcome back everybody, back to a special video. This is not just a development block, this is a release. We are going from the alpha to the beta of the MCG Minestore. And why do we change? Well, pretty simple. Because we change so much in the plugin that I couldn't find any major bug inside the plugin. Sometimes a spelling error and something, just note me on that if you find some. But beside that, every functionality is built in. We have a brand new payment wall support, which I will show you in this video, as well as how to set it up. So I first connected to my website platform. I deleted my old testing site and just gonna install the new installer to show you how the installer works. So first of all, just upload it to your website. Ignore those expired warnings. I replaced that script for like 20 times now and I couldn't fix it anyway. And this is a special video because I'm here in the screen as well, so you know what I meant. Anyways, everything is uploaded. I can check in a core folder, check if this one is empty and if this one is empty. Well, they are both empty. The DB and the defcon are both also there, and the product must be also containing an empty file. Next to that, check the payment folder and the payment wall, because that one uses special STID, and that must also be 0, as well as the pay.log. Some upload providers provide a upload system that doesn't allow upload empty files. If so, make them yourselves on the FTP by right clicking, create new file, and then give it the name as shown before. The modules thingy thing is still not be used currently because I did not make any modules yet for it. The only thing it contains is view data like the older versions to take a look at some data that it says, but it's not very important. You can keep that out if you want. It's not required. There's one note that I want to give. I have not finished the design of the payment wall pay page. That design is already there. It does work, but some stuff is missing. So yeah, that can cause some issues. So we're done. Let me just disable my sound for now, because it's echoing my mic, and then let's give it a go, shall we? So as I have uploaded them now, I have made a page here, and I'm going to click enter again. The page pops up with the installer, and as you can see here, we have a new special thing, a checkup. This checkup checks if my server has requirements we want. For example, PHP 5 or higher. Is the config writable? Is the DB file writable? Can we see the products file? Is that also writable? Do we have CURL support? And is the micro up to date? We could not find a local server. So if you're running this web server on a different server, don't worry. It doesn't block any of the installation as it's not local. The server, it cannot check. It checks out automatically the same IP address as your web server with the query port to see if you have the right version. Do not hang on it because it can go wrong. For example, if you use bungee cord or anything close to it, it can cause some issues. So let's get started. Simply enter the data. I've written them down for me. It's a local thingy thing, so we do not need anything special. Wrong one. I want to do it correctly. You can ignore the security issue with my data because this data is invalid after video releases, so it's not there anymore. As you can see here, it's filled in, and when I click connect and install, it starts uploading. And as you can see, what it's done, it shows the message is done. Click to continue, you go to the next page. Server IP is an important one. It may not be a domain name, so you need the IP address. In this case, this is my local IP address currently. I use a VPN, so my connection is currently changed to this one. The star currency is important because everything has changed in the plugin. It should show you the price of the product with that extension behind it. If not, then it's missing, but I'm sure we're gonna do it. Website address is an important one. That's where this script is located right now. So don't forget to always put a HTTPS there and not an HTTP if you use HTTPS connection. Otherwise your payment wall, for example, will not work because it validates the domain as well as where it came from and where it goes to. The community name can be changed to anything you want. I changed to Bitcubes because that's my community, and now you can enter the community address. That's the website for your own community. Add some more links. Let me just fill them out quickly. Example link 1, and let's just throw the others in as well. These links are for the top of the page where you can show you guys to different locations if they enter the website without a paid link. Now you can enter the gateways you want to do. PayPal for PayPal support, payment wall for payment wall support. Free gateway is for when somebody orders something. That's 0.00 as money, so basically free. Then it will pass to the gateway, but then cancels the gateway payment and subscribes it directly to it's paid. So basically it skips it. If you do not enable this, then the plugin will not allow the people to check out when their money in the store is 0 that they need to pay. Now we get a pretty much cool thing. Payment wall allows you to do on their side, enabling these different checkout gateways. Well, for Minecraft servers there are some limits, because some payment gateways you may not use. So I made a list of gateways that are allowed, so you can enable certain. So you can leave it on allow everything in payment wall, but you can enable them and disable them differently. If you just turn on some and leave this one empty, then they can first choose which gateway they want to use on the payment page, where they enter their email address for the payment transaction, like payment wall once, sorry. For now I will enable all gateways, so it skips that drop down menu. But if it's there, it shows. I can tell you that thing. Then you need the key. I have not set it at the moment, so I will do that right now. Be right back. I'm back. I have just copied over the IDs that I got from Payment Wall. Just remember, these two IDs are randomized dev accounts. The project is deleted as soon as this video launches, and then I will make a new project to continue development. Just for the sake of this video, I generated a secret project. So let's continue. Write files and continue. As you throw up, you can see here config written. That means that it succeeded in writing all the data you entered. Remember, if you do not use the payment wall, you do not need all these checkboxes. They are ignored, as well as the 2 boxes. And same for PayPal. If you do not use PayPal, do not fill this box. And fill it if you use it. If it's empty or something, you are missing the data. And if you want to know where the project key and secret can be found in payment wall, it's on your projects page. When you create one in the front, you can see 2 IDs, which one hidden. You can show that one to yourself. The normal one that's visible by default is the upper one, and the secret is the bottom one. So when you continue, you see something special. The plugin setup. This is new because I have made it so that the plugin will get the data for you. So let's go up and let's go to the Minestore. And let's just boot it up. Take some time. I've chosen some popular plugins, for example CMI, Logperms and Vault. Those 3 are the only ones I have. This one for the economy part, this one for the permission part. I just want to bridge the economy with my plugin. You need Vault if you want to use the money or permission systems. So keep that in mind. If you do not use Vault, if you use another injector or something, it won't work. Because we use Vault and hook into Vault to get the data, so keep that in mind. So when we have this all here, let me take a look. Everything is in here, and when it started, it generated only a config file. If you open it, you see different extra things. For example, the skin DB is now fully being used and can be extended as you wish. Simply extend it by pressing enter, adding a 9 in this case, because we're going up from 1. Then add a euro and a name value. The name is what it is, so you can see what icon is what. And this is a texture URL. If you open that texture, let me zoom in for you. You can see the icon itself. It's only a head and the rest is blank. So basically it's a head generator. Ignore the upper two parts. The first start will always be true because it then checks if it's started up correctly. And as you can see, it's all false, false, false. The currency is by default euro and the product icon is by default 2. 2 means category create for the default product icon. The API is still empty, as you can see, and a dev key is being generated for you and will be put in here. The dev key can be different lengths, different values and such is needed for add-ons to be used. If you do not use it, you can keep it like you want. You can add blah 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 next to it, but keep in mind if you use characters to close it in. Okay, let's go to the server itself. As you can see, it's fully booted, and as you can see over here, we have a lot of data from our plugin. So we can see where it stops, where it ends, what's go wrong, if it goes wrong. As you can see here, it's starting up. So it gives the sign that it's starting up. The metrics we have entered in it. To turn that one off, you can turn it off in the metrics folder. If I know where, wrong folder, this one. Minestore, plugins, and if I can see here, plugin metrics, you can open this one and turn opt out to true if you want to turn it off. The metrics are purely to see how much people are using the plugin and not for any personal data like you most of the time know. The internal IP generating, which means basically the dev key that we have here on the left bottom, it will generate one. If it's already there, it will not generate a new one. Then it starts loading the vault for economy and permissions. If something goes wrong, it will show it here. Keep that in mind. If it doesn't show anything next to this one, it's alright. Then it will check if the config is still alright, and if it doesn't conclude any errors or something, and then it says it's good or false, then it's gonna load the event listeners. We have special events added to the plugin for developers, but also special events for the event of player joining. For example, to check the products that they bought as soon as they join, as well as the registration input. If they are adding products or categories and such, we use events to capture the input. Then we have the commands. Well, if it's done, adding the command, you can see that that's the command. So basically it's detailed to show you guys the most detailed way of adding stuff. So basically, if you do something wrong in this plugin, it will notify you about it in the log of the server. So it's done. So I have my Minecraft on already, and let's just join and hop in the server. There I am. Well, ignore the update part. There we go. First things first, it shows the message in chat when the plugin is enabled, and now we can do /donate admin install. Whoop. And now it's gonna ask for the web address where the scripts are located. Once again, use HTTPS if it's on a HTTPS server. And simply do not end with a / because it's not needed. This is the address for me, and I click OK. And now, because of the security, I have to do the same command again. And now we can enter the passcode. And for that one, we go back to the page and it will ask the special passcode like here. And now I'm going back to here and enter it. And as you can see here, pulse loaded, getting API call, true, false, true, euro, installation, okay, all checks succeeded. Which means basically it got the information we entered in the web installer, and now it's done installing. So as you can see here, it's done. And when I click finish, it will ask delete the install.php file. So let's do that one. Simply click it on and delete it. You do not need it anymore. And now when I return, I can refresh the page. As you can see here, this is the result on the end of the installation. And as you can see here, links. There are links here. A sample link 1, 2, and 3, and the community link itself. So basically, it shows what the people need to do in game if they can get here, and this URLs will point to where they want to be put here. So yeah, you can do anything. The name will be put on these two places. This icon can be replaced by accessing the assets folder. Same as the backgrounds. You can make your own design by simply going into the template folder and changing some stuff. But you need to be a little bit handy with how to code a website. So we're done here. So I'm gonna minimize it and I go back to here. Now I'm gonna do donate admin manage. When I do that command, I have the permission for it because I'm OP. I get this Minestore admin interface. This interface is special because you can do everything in it, from active order viewing, product manager, coupons and sales is not active yet due to the fact I'm still working on the taxes first. That's a request I got many times for companies that run Minecraft servers. They have a tax thingy thing and they want to show people how much tax they pay on the order. So I'm still working on that part. That's for a future update, and when that's there I can apply the coupons and sales feature. The code for the coupons and sales is already there, so don't worry on that part. We have a blacklist. The blacklist is simply for blocking players to use the whole store system. They get blocked as soon as they open the GUI. And the past orders are for stuff that are past. So how to tell it you shortly. When you click on it, you see the orders that have been placed already and are activated or cancelled due to time. So basically you have the active orders, currently orders that are being paid, and you have the past orders for orders that are already paid. So let me switch files. Be right back. I'm back. Sorry for the breakup, but we are back here. Let's go into the product manager to add our first category. In this case, replace this text with any name. In this case, I will. Let me see. Items and blocks. Just remember not to use spaces. So if you want to use spaces, just use lowercase. Items and blocks, for example. Well, for currently, I will do items only to show you it better. And as you can see, left bottom will show you the category items added. Items is the name of the category and what's added. Now we can create a product. When simply clicking it, you can see this UI. It looks like nothing, but it is a lot. Left top will show you product name, currently stating to my product. So when you click on it, you can start typing a name. Gold bars, and you can make a space for it as well, but I will use the gold bars. For the name, I would recommend also using underscores, just for the sake of security. If you use spaces, there is a chance that during the checkup when paying an order, it goes wrong, but the lowercase will be replaced by space when it shows it, if I'm correct. Now we have the description in chat. This will give you close this. No, well, no. Be rich forever. You can use special characters in it as long as it's not a dot, special things. So as dot, double point, comma, and those things. Just use the exclamation mark, question mark, those things. You see here the crossed. Currently you see a no extension in the adding UI. It's because I did not have the time for that one, but I wanted to thing. I clicked it 5 times because when you click it first time to change it, it will return to 0 to let you count up. So first start with the uppercase thing. So I want to make it €5.50. So as you can see, I clicked 5 times on the plus here, and I get 5.5, which means €5.50. I can also lower it down and going up again. Maybe not. I can add another one beside this to do the sub cents, but currently it's not possible yet. I wanted to make a stable first before I do that one. Well, this is the release. Let's go to the beta so I can fix a lot of other things. So next thing here is the category. We click on it. We had a category called items. So simply add items, enter in the chat, and it will change into items. The category does not exist. It can warn you, but it allows it either way. Because you add items to a category that doesn't exist, it will still add it, but it's not visible, the product. The product gets visible as soon as you add a category with the same name. So in that case, you can make products invisible, but yeah, well, doesn't work. Now we got the funny thing, because most actions are already built in. Other stores and such allows you to make commands to do things. This one does everything for you for many things. For example, we have a lot of information here. Please enter the action in chat. Possible are the M for money, to get a value for money, C for the command, P for permission, R for rank, set ranks, AR for adding a rank. Important, there is a difference. Set rank will change the user's rank to something, add rank will add it to the user, and let them keep the existing rank. The I for items, the CM for a player message, chat message to the player. Then you have CMG for a global message, every player can see that one. The XP for the XP levels you want to give a player. We do not meant lossless XP, we meant XP levels. It makes it a lot easier. It automatically calculates the amount of levels a player has and make it so that, well, at those levels. Experience expiry, it's already there. You can add it to products. I could not test it yet fully. It should already work, but there is no long-term check already built in. So you can add this, but it's not completely functional until I tested it out completely. So I've disabled some of the timings in the plugin to prevent a lot of errors coming up until that's fixed. So timed items are not a thing yet. Keep in mind you can already add items with that action, but it doesn't do that action. So I would not recommend adding them. So in this case we want to give gold, so I do an I for item, double point, and then a gold ingot. We need the item name from material list for the widget, and then I need a stripe in the middle. And how much do I want to give? 512 ingots. When I press enter, I get the UI back, and as you can see here on the icon next to it, it shows I gold ingot 512. And I can click again and then, for example, do CM, you got the monies. For the chat message to myself, to the player that buys it. So as you can see, it added to the list. Now I can delete actions, which will delete all the actions you added to the product. And now for the next thing, the features. And also a very cool thing. When you click add feature, you can give it icons. The index will show you a max amount of many, how much was it? Like 42 features, not more, but they allow you to show your user what's in a package. For example, 512 gold ingots, and then press enter. Now you can enter an icon ID or a material name. So in this case I can press an item ID, like in the configuration is visible. So let me show it to you. This one, or this one, or this one. So you can use heads into the GUI. It's not needed. In this case I want to put a gold ingot into the icon field, and now it's added. And you can view or delete features in a special GUI by clicking this here. I'm gonna not show you because I do not want to delete it, but anyways. And when you click save and add product, you see on the left bottom product added. I will not add a lot more at the moment, but there is one important thing to do. If you're done with adding products, please restart the server for it to make effect. I restarted the server. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button on my keypad, so it stopped recording. That's not what I meant. Let me clear my inventory. CMI XP clear. Nope, nope. Music set 0 or something. Wait. Set. CMI XP and music set 0 or something. Yeah. Now I have no XP at all. So that's good. And now I can do /donate. That's my player's UI. And it also exists out of different things. You can see your order history for things you already paid. The active products, if you have timed products and it's all working, you can see your products here. The check purchases is for if you have paid and it's not transacted automatically. You can click here to check it for you. And the shopping cart, if you have something in your cart, you can see it over here. And when you click it and you don't have, you can see you do not have products in your cart. But first let's go to the store. We have one category, and in that category we see gold bars. Be Rich Forever costs 5.5 euro with 1 features included. And you can also see a product ID. That ID will show you the ID. And as you can see here, there's the feature icon with 512 gold ingots, and these are all the slots you can use for the features. So that's all these slots for. Then you can see here your cart, how much products you have in your cart. Here on the left top you can see the description and information of the package, and here you can edit. When you click it, it will close down the GUI, and when the player does the command again, press donate, you can click on your shopping cart and you can see here. Because I've enabled payment, PayPal and payment wall, you can see the payment options below here. And if you have coupons on your account for the feature, because I'm working on it, you can see how much coupons you have here. And when you click on it, you can get select the coupons. So when I click payment wall, I click here to pay your order, and when I click on it, I will go to the page. In this page you can add any type of email. Let's do that one. And when I click pay now, I will go to this page currently as well. It doesn't look great because I did not finish the template yet, but it's functional. Click to pay on the bottom, and as you can see here, it's a test transfer because I've enabled test mode. And you can see gold bars over here. That's the product name. For is a short message. That's Dutch. I have no idea where it comes from, but I thought I removed it already, but I will remove it soon enough. When you click buy, it takes a few seconds in payment wall, and then it thanks you for your purchase. You can close this window now and go back to the server. If you click check payment, And as you can see here, it checks it. It sees the order on your account locally. It goes online in the database and sees gold bars is found, and it will activate it directly. That's green, and then it gets the actions and executing it. In this case, executing the item adding. Now, well, it added the items, and the second one was the message that I sent, and it shows here you got the monies, like I did before. So as you can see, it's all working as we wish to do it. So add-ons can be made for it at any time. There is not a need for certain stuff or something to be added before it works. Beside that, this is the functionality as it is right now. It is fully featured and already working for communities wanting to use the new Minestore plugin. It's better now, so it's pretty much stable. There are some menu errors, like you notice them. They do not point to anything that's broken, basically, but sometimes Minecraft gives a wrong ID for my GUI back, which is not a problem. It tries to clear them, and it couldn't because ID doesn't exist, but that's nothing important, but because as soon as you open another GUI and close it again, it wipes them as well. So basically it catches the error itself and fixes itself. So that's not a problem at all. And now on to the last thing, the order history. Let me enable it. So donate, admin, manage. When you click donate, admin, manage, you can click on this one. Because we already did the order, we can click on it. And as you can see on the left bottom, you see a UUID amount. So basically, I've made a translation into the plugin, so it translates the UUID back to the username. So in this case, you can see this one. You see music .1. Because I made one complete order, you can see number 1 beside it. And it will only show purchases that really occurred. So if it really occurred, then it will show it. It will not show you UIDs that never made the order, so you cannot get a mess. So when you click on it, you can see it will go up whoop, to another page, so you can see the order that I did. The order name will be gold bars because I purchased one product only. If it is a multi-product order, so your cart has multiple items, it will generate a special package name with your nickname, a special ID, and a pack into the name, and then you see that one here. And it will show you all the items that are in the purchase in white over here. On the left you see the category, on the right the product name itself. Well, as an admin you can see what product actions are built in, so you can see what that player got with it. As you can see, there's also a page 1 into the thing. It doesn't have complete pagination yet. However, it's going to be added in the next update, that's for sure, because there are little things that need to work out to make, for example, here a clickable arrow if it is containing more than a certain amount. So that's something to see. And if I do /donate and click your order history, you can see the same information as I got above, but only for yourself. Just so your own order history. So you can see what you have ordered beforehand. And I think that's it for now. There's one more important thing to tell you, that the security has changed. Into the project itself, reload it. Into the project scripts itself, the script itself, is a brand new thing, and that's a key IP validation check. It's very important. Only your own scripts will communicate with the database to add purchase, remove purchase, and renewals, etc., etc. Keep that in mind, next to the fact that the check also disables any other communication than your own server's IP address with a key, not to forget them. So why I did add a key is because there are people who are abusing the system completely. So they are adding their own part, add-on thingy thing into their plugin, and then simply using the communication from your own server to give themselves stuff and such within your web panel, and trigger false transactions and such to prevent that there is a key into your file, which you can change at any time if you suspect anything like it. Beside the fact that if you do not have the key, you need a key for every command you send to the add-on. So as soon as somebody uses the API, for everything they want to do in the API, the first variable that they need to add to the command is the key. So without the key they cannot use anything inside the thing, and beside the fact that without the key they cannot even communicate with the scripts online, because it will check your key and the IP address. So what it basically does is it will wait for a call with the key and variables for the order. Then it also loads up the IP for you. You cannot send it with it. It will automatically check the IP address the call came from and save it into memory for a moment. And then it will decrypt a special master key in your files of the web server. The master key has been generated in the installation. So when you use your system to make a payment, it will decrypt that file to get a IP address you entered during installation. And as soon as the IP address equals the IP address in memory, it succeeds and go through. But if either the key is different, it cannot even decompile, so it will never match. And if the IP address, even if it's a 1-digit difference, it will not work. So basically you need a key and the IP address to be equal to what you have entered to make it work. It prevents hacking, it prevents changing and abusing a system. It secures you to make it work flawlessly. However, I cannot ever protect against full-on hacks on your file system itself. So if you, for example, have a virus, I cannot do anything against it. And if you give somebody access to the system, I can also not compile with it. As soon as they get the data and you do not change it in time, they can do damage, but that's on you. The protection is almost watertight, almost. There are some things that people can do to make it possible to work through, but the same things can also be done on any other payment provider. It's highly illegal, and I do not recommend people to even try it itself, because they can get behind jail bars for a long time if they do. I think that's it for now. This premiere video should be online soon. Even if you watch it right now, then either the premiere is going or is in the past. So you can already purchase it or get it on Spidget, and if you already have it, get the latest version to work. Keep in mind, if you have an old version, reinstall with the new version. But keep the file, the configuration file, simply update the jar file and start the server up and execute the installation command to continue. Or keep in mind, you can always use the installation command again, but it will result in an error because the value is already there. If it caused any problem, just remove the API key and such from the configuration file and use the command again, and then run the setup on the internet and such to bind it again together. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time. Good luck.